Hi, this is Anna, and this is Check It at the Round Table, where we discuss movies, books, music, and stuff. Today we are discussing fake wedding bands and why people wear them. As some of you may have known from my podcast, I am single, and I have no intention of changing that at this point. I mean, I'm not saying that Mr. E or Mr. Exemplary, as I've called him, who will be exemplary and persistent, as my acquaintances know, if asked about that, will maybe someday show up. But until then, I'm really happy with my life as is, especially after this last year of online dating. I was like, I did that, got the t-shirt, didn't get the t-shirt. Actually, I don't have a t-shirt for online dating. But anyway, I have a Spider-Man t-shirt. It's one of my favorites. But anyway, moving on. I'm really happy with my life as is. If I find out that I'd be maybe happier with someone else in my life and they'd be happier with me in their life, we could maybe discuss that over a nice cuppa. But until then, I'm good. But as some of you may have noticed, I do wear a wedding band on this finger right here. The reason being is last year I had an uncomfortable experiences with individuals. Well, before last year, Bob lived with me, like from birth on, we lived together. And we went everywhere together in our free time. Like if I was going to go do something, she'd come with me. If it was a plane, if it was a train, if it was a bus, we'd go together. And nobody bothered me or her when we were together. Hardly, I think only once did we have any trouble whatsoever. And that was just a couple of people that had probably had something that they shouldn't have taken, and it made them a little troublesome, and we got out of there quick. But anyway, but the thing is after Bob left, I started to notice that people were behaving in very strange ways. I mean, no offense, I'm kind of a female version of Sheldon, so I look at things and I go, observo, this is odd. What does this mean? Because I don't mean it weird. I kind of look at it like I'm outside of myself and I go, what are they doing? And why are they doing that in my direction? It does not make sense. I think it's the high functioning autism as a part of a side effect. But anyway, I think I finally kind of came to a head on this deal, if you want to say it that way, when I was sitting at the bus stop waiting for my bus to come to take me to my next spot, and this guy randomly comes up and sits down beside me. And I will point out this is in the middle of COVID season when we're all supposed to be giving each other like 6 feet of distance. So I'm sitting there going, this is odd. And why are you sitting next to me? Because the only person that can really sit next to me is Bob and maybe a couple other people, because even my friends know we don't sit right next to Anna because personal space is very important to me. So anyway, I'm sitting there and they literally plop a map in my lap and go, where do I need to go to X? And I'm like, number one, I don't know you. Number two, there are like 5 of those here in this area, so I don't have any idea which one you want to go to. And number 3, I'm like, okay, I've had it up here with those because I had a couple other experiences of similar nature. And I'm like, I think this is a weird trying to hit on someone thing. And I'm like, it's definitely not working, but I need to come up with a better plan. So, I had bought Bob a fake wedding band about a year before because she was having trouble with people hitting on her when she would go on the bus by herself. And I said, you know what, Bob, wear the band. I know it sounds weird, but I think people will bug you less. And lo and behold, they did bother her less. So I was like, you know what? I haven't ever needed to do something like that really, but I think I'm probably doing that because I don't know why, but since I don't have Bob here, people are bugging me. So, and I don't mean that bad. It's just like hitting on Anna is not a good plan. It's like that is like the worst way to make me consider possibly going out on a date with someone. Is like that kind of behavior. It's like, you'll never go out on a date with me. It's just not going to happen. So anyway, I went online. I bought this. I will drop a link in the description, and I don't know if you can see it, but here, I'll put it on my hand. There we go. It is a surgical steel band, so it's never going to rust. I mean, I just don't see that happening. And it has a cubic zirconium piece here, which honestly, unless you were a jeweler, I could not tell the difference, and I don't think most people could. So anyway, I have the this piece here, and then I also have this plain stainless steel, surgical steel, 316 steel band as well. I bought them separately. This one was about $5.50. That's weird. And this one was about 13, but it was buy two, get one free. And I was like, after that little experience with the map in my lap, I bought 3 of them because I'm like, I'm a bit absent-minded. And on the slight chance that I lose one of them, I'm going to have backup because I'm not going on this bus again. And I'm not going on the train or the plane and having someone put a map in my lap or try to hit on me in a weird way, which is never going to work. So I bought these, and lo and behold, once I bought these and started wearing them, no one's bugged me since. I've had several people say, oh, this is a beautiful wedding set. And I just go, it's a very nice set, yes. Because like, I don't know you. It's okay. If you think I'm married, that's fine. My friends, my colleagues, everyone knows I'm not. But the random citizen who I might meet out in public, who I really don't want messing around with me, will think I am. And to me, that is totally worth it. And there's actually a very informative article on this because there are many women that buy these for being single and they just don't want to deal with people bugging them. I also think there is an episode in, what is it called? I'm not terribly familiar with the drama. I don't think it's definitely not G-rated. The New Girl drama. There's an episode where one woman wears one of these because she does not want people hitting her and her on the bar, in the bar. So she wears it when she goes to have a beverage so that people don't bug her. And then if she likes it, she'll say, you know, I'm not married. I simply wear this because I don't want to have people bug me. But also some women buy these because like if they do go to like on holiday, they can wear this. It looks just like, you know, their very, very expensive wedding band. But if they lose it in the trip, it's like this costs $14 compared to, I don't know what a really nice one that would look like this and be a real diamond would be, but I can guarantee it's more than that. So anyway, they buy the fake one for their trips. Also, many women buy it simply because they don't want to be bugged. And I totally get it after this year. I'm like, you know, I don't mean it was best. Like, I read an article and they were like, you know, it keeps people who would be flirting with you who you probably wouldn't want to be with in the first place. I mean, no offense. I'm like, anyone that flirts with me because they see that I'm not wearing a wedding band is not the kind of person who will be my soulmate or the dad for my kids. I mean, no offense. I'm like, I am really certain of one thing in this life, and that's one of the things that I'm certain of. It's like that, and you know, a couple other things. But anyway, it's like that's kind of it. But I will drop a link in the description if you want to consider buying one of these for like your trips, or if you're on the bus and you don't want people bugging you. It works great in most cultures that I've been in. I'm sure there are some that it would not, but, and you know, my friends and my acquaintances and my family, they're all like, Anna, I totally get why you're doing this because people are just weird. And I haven't had anyone treat me weird because like, or act like, oh, you're, you know, not being honest with people. It's like, you know, I really don't care what people think about, how to say this. I don't care if the general masses think, you know, and honestly, it's like people wear rings on all their fingers, but I'm like, you know, if they have a problem with the fact that I wear this to avoid having people, you know, put maps in my lap and sit way too close when I'm waiting at the bus stop, that's okay. I'd rather have that than have maps in my lap and people at the bus stop. And I did think about, you know, when I got it, I was like, I'm only going to wear this when I go to the bus. The only problem with that is with my mind, I would think about putting it on before I go to the bus, but if I don't wear it like, you know, every day, I completely forget to grab it when I leave my house, even if I put it on a ring shelf and, have a big sticky note that says, Anna, put this on. It doesn't always work. It's been a problem for me. So it's like, I'm just wearing the rings. Um, you know, that's just me. It's like, there are certain things in life, it's like, I could not wear these and forget them when I really do need them, or I could just wear them and look, oh, they're shiny, they're pretty, they're silver, one of my favorite colors. Okay, it works for me. But that is why I do wear a wedding band, even though I'm not married. And, I'm like, that may happen, that might not happen. And either way, it's like, life is good. And I have a really shiny ring set that keeps maps from being put in my lap. I'm like, this is a perk. So anyway, I will drop a link in the description to the article on fake wedding bands. I will also drop a link in the description to where you can go and buy these very reasonably. I bought mine on eBay. You can buy them on Etsy, but they want a lot more for them there, I've noticed. And you can also buy them on Walmart. I have never done that because I kind of question if it's going to actually look like the picture. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, I know these people's rings. I've bought from them before. I'm buying this one. So, and they come in all different sizes. Like, I think this is a 3mm band. I found out the hard way that you do not want to order like a 6mm band because it's literally about, a 1/4 inch thick. And I did not like wearing that. So anyway, I was like, what does the millimeter mean? Because I didn't really grow up with millimeters. And even though I'm trying to get better at my measurements for different things, it's a struggle for me. So I'm like, I found out what 3mm was. I'm like, I'm ordering the 3mm to go with this so that it looks like a set. Also, if you want to, you can just buy, like, I just bought the silver band. The thing I noticed is the one with the little cubic zirconium really was a bigger deterrent than the silver. I don't know why. I'm like, okay, that's kind of an observo moment. But if you have the two, it tended to make it less problematic overall for people. I don't know if it's because they catch the glint and they're like, oh, okay, we won't bother her. But anyway, and I'm like, I don't really feel bad about this at all because I figure your safety is worth everything. The other thing that I highly recommend if you don't have it is I have a special application that I purchased simply for this as well. Pull it up. It is called SO Secure. It is $50 equivalent a year. Totally worth it. What it does is it allows you to be tracked if you want to. You hit a button and it will track your location. It will also have an immediate voice-over effect so that you can basically say a code word. If I have my phone anywhere in my house, it will pick it up and immediately call whatever. If I'm in a bus and I do not feel comfortable, I could say something and my phone will be calling 911 and no one knows it. So I'm just saying it's totally worth it. Now, I don't live in uber fear or concern at all about that. I simply sit there and go, what would I tell my kids, whether they were a boy or a girl? That's really irrelevant. What would I tell my kids if they were calling me going, what would you do if you were me? Now, for my boys, I'm not sure if I tell them about wedding men. No offense, I'm like, that I don't think is necessary as much for guys, but you never know. It might be at some points. But the thing is the security on your phone, I think, is invaluable. Having it so that you could, if you needed to, have a signal so people know where you're located. The other thing that So Secure allows is if I am in a bind, people who are closest to me will get a ring, which they're never going to get, but just so that I know that they know where I am. It's kind of just a good backup for, it's like having a will. It's a good idea. Does that mean that it's for everyone? No, but is it something that everyone should probably consider at one point or another? Yes. So anyway, same with So Secure. And if you are female, I'd say it's something to consider about the fake wedding bands. Some people not their thing. But for me, it was like, it was either that or dealing with really weird people at the bus stop. And by weird people, I mean certain guys, nothing against guys, okay? But I'm like, I don't know what's up with these people, but that is not going to work with Anna. And we're going to deter that a little bit. So I don't have to sit there and go, I'm thinking something really hard, which I can never say, even though I really want to. So anyway, but that is my review of fake wedding bands. Check it at the round table. Bye.